About 200 years ago, during the days of the third Lubavitcher Rebbe, Tzemach Tzedek, there was a Jew whose name was Yankel. And Yankel lived in a faraway town, very far from Lubavitch, and he owned a small inn, like a small hotel, and Baruch Hashem, this made him good money. People used to travel through the town a lot. It was quite a big Jewish town, and he was so happy. But one day, quite out of the blue, the Paritz, who was the landowner from whom he used to rent the building that he used as a hotel or as a small inn, sends him a message and tells him, you have to evict. You have to leave the building. You have to leave this house. You cannot have it anymore. And Rabbi Yankel was dismayed. He went into a panic. The Paritz gave him 30 days to clear out. Where was he going to go? He had his wife and his kids, and this was his parnasa. This was his money maker. This is how he made money. And he tried to send messengers to the Paritz. Please, what did I do wrong? Did I not pay on time? He was always very careful to pay on time, but nothing helped. And so, someone tells him about the Tzemach Tzedek, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and he decides he's going to travel to the Rebbe and ask him for a bracha. It was a long, arduous journey, and it took him a long time, many days. And when he reaches Lubavitch, he tells the Rebbe's secretary, his shamash, that he's desperate. He has to see the Rebbe immediately. And when he comes into the Rebbe asks him what village is he from, and he says where he's from, and he tells him his predicament, that the Paritz is throwing him out within 30 days. And the Rebbe tells him, go talk to Long Moshe, or Tall Moshe, but in those days they called him Long Moshe. Now, in his town, there were two men called Moshe. One was called Tall Moshe, or Long Moshe, and he was the Melamed, the Rebbe who used to teach the little children Torah. He lived on the edge of town, and when it came to business matters, he had absolutely no power. He was very poor, and for all practical purposes, he was very unimportant. Now, really, of course, we know that he was incredibly important, because being a Melamed and teaching children Torah is one of the greatest chusim. A person has to have a lot of Yirat Shamayim, love for Hashem, love for His Torah, and a lot of patience and loving children. And it's a very, very hard work. It's a great chus to be a Melamed, to be a Rebbe who teaches little children Torah. Nothing's more important to Hashem than Hevel Tinokot Shel Bet Rabban. No kids, guys, don't interrupt. Let's finish the story. Than the Torah learning of little children. But when it came to business and money making, this Tall Moshe had no influence whatsoever. In the same town, there was another man called Short Moshe. And Short Moshe was the man who was the Paritz's manager of all his estates. Short Moshe used to be the one who would take care of all collecting the rent and distributing who should get which building, etc., etc. And he was very powerful. He was the Paritz. The Paritz was like the Russian landowner. He was like a little king who owned all the lands around. Tell you that I think it's interrupting me. Okay? And Short Moshe was his manager. And so when the Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek, told Yankel that he should talk to Long Moshe, he thought the Rebbe must have made a mistake. Maybe he mixed up the two, the tall one and the short one. And the tall one and the short one. And so he tells the Rebbe, he says, Tall Moshe? And he says, yes, Tall Moshe. And when Yankel leaves the Chidus, Yichudus says when he went and talks privately with the Rebbe, he goes to find the Rebbe's sons. Now the Tzemach Tzedek had 7 sons. Each one of them were great Talmidei Chachamim, big tzaddikim in their own right. And he went and he told them that, what was the name? Well, the youngest one was Reb Shmuel. And he becomes the Maharash, the 4th Lubavitcher.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he comes and he talks to the Rebbe's sons.
The ugly one name?
I forgot all of them. I think the oldest one was Baruch. And he tells them that his predicament. He says, I think the Rebbe made a mistake. He told me to talk to tall Moshe when really I should be talking to short Moshe. And they told him, the Rebbe is a tzaddik. He doesn't make a mistake. If he told you talk to long Moshe, tall Moshe, that's who you need to talk to. So he says, okay. He says, I don't understand how the simple Melamed can help me. Short Moshe is the one who's powerful. But he says, okay. And he travels back to his village. And it took him many days. And by the time he comes back, it's almost the end of the 30 days. He doesn't even go home. He goes directly to tall Moshe's house. And it's dusk, which means it's almost nightfall. And he knocks on the door of Long Moshe. And Long Moshe opens the door. And they knew each other a little bit from town. And he says, oh, Rabbi Yankel, how can I help you? And he says, Rabbi Yankel, I need you to help me to get my inn back. To get my little hotel. The pirates is taking it away from me. And he says, how can I help you? I am just a simple Melamed. I have no influence whatsoever. And he says, no, the Rebbe says I should. I say, go give Tati a kiss good night down. So you gotta give Tati a push down. Go kiss Tati good night down. Kayla, give Tati a kiss good night down. And he says, go give Tati a kiss. You want to kiss the mezuzah, Tati? Give you piggyback right to the mezuzah? No, mommy, I can do a story right now. And he says, Rabbi Yankel, I am just a simple Melamed. How can I help you get your inn back? I have no influence. Go talk to short Moshe. And he says, no. Tzemach Tzedek says, I need to talk to you. And I was told the Rebbe doesn't make a mistake. So he says, well, I have no idea how to help you. But it's too late for you to go home tonight. Sleep here tonight. Maybe in the morning we can figure something out. And Rabbi Yankel agrees, and tall Moshe tells him, go, I've got a small bedroom upstairs in the attic. Go sleep in the attic, and we'll talk in the morning. We'll figure out what we can do. And instead of going to sleep, Rabbi Yankel leaves a little candle on and sits and he recites Tehillim all night long, pleading with Hashem to save him. Otherwise he'll be homeless, especially back then in Russia.
What's homeless?
Without a house, without a home over his head. Especially back then in Russia, and it was in the middle of the winter. There was heavy snow and ice, and travel was so difficult. What, darling?
Pogrom?
I don't know if at that particular time the pogroms, there was constantly pogroms. Yeah, tell me later, darling.
And what's part of journeys were?
Yeah, or not? You'll tell me after the story, darling. And he, with all his heart, he davens to Hashem, and everybody goes to sleep, and the only one awake late into the night was Rabbi Yankel with his little candle on in the attic reciting Tehillim. When all of a sudden the whole household wakes up and they hear screams, they hear banging on the door, and the person screaming, help! Help! Somebody quick! Help! Help! And tall Moshe runs to the door in his pajamas. He throws on his coat because it's snowing and icy. It's a whole blizzard outside. And he says, what's the matter? He says, you must help me. I'm the pirate's wagon driver. And his wagon, I went over what I thought was ice. It was really a river that froze over. And the ice broke, and now he and his daughter drowning in the frozen ice. The whole wagon with the horses cracked the ice, and they're falling in. I need help. I can't get them out. And of course, tall Moshe runs, and he comes to help him, and he pulls and heaves, and tall Moshe is a tall, strong man, and he helps to schlep out the wagon with the horses. Of course, the horses were strong too, and the horses turned around. And once tall Moshe was able to pull them out, they pulled out the wagon with the parrots and the daughter.
All the parrots in there.
Yes. And he brings them to his house. And he gives him hot tea and dry clothes. It's him and his daughter. And the parrots can't thank him enough. And he says, oh, thank God we found you. Thank God we found you. Thank God we saw you. He says, yeah, how did you see me? It's middle of the night. I live out in the edge of the forest. He says, well, my wagon driver saw a little candle lit on your attic bedroom. And he says, please, I'll give you anything you want. I'll give you a big reward for saving my life. And tall Moshe says, I don't need a big reward. But the one who really saved you was my guest. His name is Yankel. And he was staying in my attic today. And he was sitting and saying Tehillim late into the night with the candle on. He was davening to Hashem. And he says, he's the one who really saved your life, and he's the one who really needs your help. And the parrot says, he needs my help. What help does he need? He says, that's Yankel who owns the inn. And you told him he has to leave within 30 days. And the next couple of days, the 30 days are up. And he has nowhere to go with his wife and kids. And he really wants to have his house back. Why did you throw him out? And the parrot says, oh, I know who he is. Of course I know who he is. Yeah, I'll let him have his house back. No problem. And I'll give him 3 years rent-free. Because of his light, my life was saved. And the life of my daughter. And Yankel comes down and he shakes hands with him. And he says to him, parrots, why did you throw me out? What did I do wrong? I paid my rent every month like you wanted. And he says, no, you don't understand. My manager, Short Moshe, his nephew got married. And his nephew wanted to become an innkeeper.
What?
And Short Moshe, it was a very sad thing that Short Moshe did. Came to the parrots and he said, listen, I'm your manager. I want this house that Yankel is in for my nephew. So please make Yankel leave them in so I can have this house. I'll do it like this. So I can have this house for my nephew. Steny, darling, it's disturbing. No, no. Okay, I'll put it down, but you cannot touch it. And he said, that's why I was throwing you out, because Short Moshe wanted your house for his nephew. And he said, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. And I was going to go to Short Moshe for help. He says, nah, he never would have helped you. He wanted the house for his nephew. I sit on down. And he was so happy. He says, see, the Rebbe knew exactly. The Rebbe said I should come to Tall Moshe. And that's exactly what I needed to do. That's what saved my life. The Rebbe always sees. And he was so happy. And of course, he got his house back. And of course, he also got free rent for 3 years. And he was so happy. Children, in our time, our Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, told us so many times that Mashiach is coming in our time. Kinderlach.
What's that, our time?
In our days, during our lifetime. For thousands of years, the Jewish people are davening and praying and pleading for Mashiach. All the way from the time of Adam Arishon. And then the Jewish people, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov came, the Jewish people, they left Mitzrayim, and we've been praying and praying for Mashiach to come. But the Rebbe, and not just the Rebbe, many, many other tzaddikim are telling us that now is the time for Mashiach to come. And all we need to do is daven to Hashem and tell Hashem, Hashem, we're ready. We want Mashiach
Now.
So just as the Rebbe said that Mashiach is coming in our time, may it happen speedily in our day.
Bye-bye.